Hi, my name is Darrin Darling. When I grew up, I was the youngest of 6 kids. My parents were there initially, and then they got divorced when I was probably about 5 years old. Through that time, I moved from Florida to North Carolina, back to Florida, living with one parent to the next. There was a lot of animosity towards the divorce. It kind of left me not knowing where I was supposed to be in life. And then probably when I was about 10 years old, my dad, I was living with him, and he left. And he was gone for months and months at a time without even seeing him. And when he did come in to the house or something, it was very brief, maybe an hour or two, and then he was gone again. And I had to deal with those issues along with being in a low-income housing, poverty area, and pretty much fighting every day to stay alive, for lack of better words, because of the fact that it was a fight every single day, whether it was physical or mental, and then trying to not follow in the footsteps of my older brothers that were into drugs and dropping out of school. By their example, I knew what I didn't want to do, so I tried to be the best person I could for my sister as well, and to not go down that path that they did. Several years later, in my adult life, when I got married, started having children, and the marriage wasn't solid, and we ended up in divorce. Ultimately, that led me into a state of depression where I was actually just ignoring my kids and not even paying attention to them, and got heavy into alcohol. And I realized this wasn't the way that I wanted to live, so I knew that there had to be a change. And when I met Jesus, all of that changed. A few years later, I met Joyce, my wife, and we walked through the doors of this church, and we knew right away that this was home. We loved the music, we loved the message, the pastoral team was amazing. We decided to get plugged in. My wife Joyce, she joined the Connections team to help with the children, and I joined the Connection team to help with production, and that's where I got into being brave enough to ask Jonah to be part of the worship ministry team. And with a few bass lessons and a lot of practice playing bass through the other areas of the church, I grew and got to the point where I am now, where I play almost every week with the church. So there's a song, Redeemed by Big Daddy Weave, that had a huge impact in my life on how I saw my old self before I met Jesus, and then how I see myself now living in Christ. There's a line in that song that says, "I don't have to be the old man inside of me. His day is long dead and gone. I have a new life, a new name. I'm not ashamed, and a hope that will carry me home. I am redeemed."